Hey everybody, Lisa Sabaniak here from lifelikeyoumeanit.com, coming to you live to share another NLP strategy to change your life. And today we are going to talk about how people do the best that they can in whatever situation they are in that moment. This is a little bit difficult to comprehend, I know, when we are thinking about people who have done us wrong, people who have hurt us in some sort of way. So let's start by talking about people who, maybe they've said something or done something that has irritated us or, made us question what the heck is going on. But they're generally speaking, they're people that we like to be around, and we would call friend or loved one, because this starts to be a little bit easier for us to wrap our head around this NLP strategy with them and then broadening out and looking at others. So this kind of piggybacks on the idea that we looked at before about how everybody's behavior has a positive intention for them, right? We're always meeting a need in ourselves, and sometimes we're not always going about it in the best way. So for example, if you've ever been part of road rage where somebody maybe has cut you off or they're going slowly and you have somewhere that you have to get and you find yourself screaming at the top of your lungs in the car. I'm laughing because I have caught myself doing this before. Or you don't necessarily mean any kind of malice or harm to that person. It's just there's been a build up in your day that's going on, or there's something really important that you're trying to get to and you're really stressed. The bottom line in this kind of scenario is that there's something happening that's causing stress, and you being able to shout at the top of your lungs and get all of that anger out in that moment provides you with release from that stress, and it feels good to get that off your chest. You don't necessarily mean to cause any kind of harm or discomfort to the other person at the other end of that yelling, right? Even if they can't hear you in the car, they look in the rearview mirror and they see you freaking out in the driver's seat behind them, right? We don't necessarily mean to have any kind of negative impact on that person. We're just getting the stress off of our chest. Was it the best way to do it? In that moment, yes. That's what this NLP strategy is all about, is that people do the best they can in that moment, right? With whatever tools that they've been given, with whatever they're working with or through that particular day. And, we see this all the time in different memes that people post up about how you never know what somebody is going through, right? We never know what kind of struggle somebody is having, or, they may have just lost their job, or their partner may have just left them, or, there's all kinds of things that everybody experiences every day. And so it's that old adage of you need to walk a mile in somebody else's shoes before you can judge them for the steps that they are taking. And this is kind of the same idea. So if we take the concept of people's behavior is based on a positive intention for themselves, and that they're doing the best that they can in this particular moment, if we put those two together, again, if we're talking about somebody that we love and we care about and we're friends with, or something along those lines, and they've said something, they've been a little bit snarky, or they didn't call us back when they said they would, or, something along those lines, we can forgive them when we do end up hearing from them again. When they start to explain what's been going on, we start to develop some empathy and say, yeah, I can definitely see how you are completely stressed out. It didn't feel good for you to yell at me, and I'd prefer you to not do that again, but I see where that was coming from. And you forgive them and you move on and you have a wonderful relationship. But when it's somebody that causes you stress on a regular basis, or you just don't get on with, right? Maybe one of your colleagues, or even your boss at work, a neighbor, or somebody like that, it's a little bit more difficult for us to do the same sort of thing and empathize with them and realize that whatever they're doing or saying really isn't about us, it's about them. It's about meeting that need, and it's about whatever they've been going through in that day building up to this moment, maybe even across several days or several weeks or several months, that has been building up that causes them to then behave in that kind of way. It's not an excuse, right? People need to be more aware and make conscious decisions about how they are behaving, both for themselves and towards other people, 100%. And that's what these videos are part in doing, is trying to help people get inspired to start looking at their own behaviors and what's running their show. But then also for those of us that are on the brunt of some of those behaviors, right, to actually start to realize that we don't need to take these things personally. We don't need them to kind of act as evidence for that negative mantra that's going on in our own head, our own stuff that we're dealing with, feeling like a failure or feeling like we're not good enough. And then somebody comes along and treats us in a, a not so positive way. We tend to look at that as evidence. And what I'm trying to do here is to give you another solution, another possibility here, that perhaps that person isn't indeed giving you the evidence for what you are so desperate to find right now. Somebody showing you that you're not worthy or that you're not good enough or something like that. And instead open up your conscious awareness to be they're actually dealing with their own stuff. They're choosing to behave in a way that's going to meet an immediate need. They're doing the best they can with whatever is going on today in this moment. Cut them some slack. Don't take it personally. It has absolutely nothing to do with you, and it is all about them. How you choose to interpret and hold on to whatever their behavior is, that's the thing that you have control over, and that's the thing that speaks volumes about how you really feel about yourself. So if somebody is a little bit snarky, or they don't get back to us, or they don't give us positive feedback or something along those lines, and we choose to then use that as evidence and say, see, I knew I wasn't good enough. I knew I was too stupid to be able to do this. I knew nobody likes me. And we start with that language. We too are doing the best that we can in that moment. And we too are behaving in that way towards ourselves to meet a need. Right? As odd as that sounds, that is what we are doing. So bring some conscious awareness to it and start to recognize that actually I have a different choice. I don't have to look at this person's behavior as being evidence for my worthiness or lack thereof. I don't have to harp on what they did. I can choose to focus on how I am going to behave in response to that, both to myself, first and foremost, and then perhaps to them as well. I hope that was helpful. Please jump on in for a free 30-minute discovery call with me at lifelikeyoumeanit.com/calendar and find out exactly how NLP will change your life. That's lifelikeyoumeanit.com/calendar. Thank you so much for everybody that was here with me today. Bless